Yeah, I'm down here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm dressed up, I'm cosplaying, dressed up. I got my Federation Star Trek Captain shirt on, same kind of shirts they wore like in the 2009 Into Darkness movies. I have the boots, the pants, the boots, and and then I got this jacket, of course, and I like this jacket. I bought it, and I'll get to the review in a second, but I bought this on eBay about 4 months ago. I wanted to wear it to the premiere, but didn't get a chance because they ran out of wristbands. On Wednesday morning, you had to go down to the convention center to get wristbands. You had to get down there early, and there were probably people down there camping out for it that got their wristbands, and so I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to get in, but the next best thing to it was that the following night, Thursday, which is another earlier showing, was at a theater in downtown near the convention center. There was a mall that has a movie theater, and I went there to see the earlier showing, or one of the earlier showings of Star Trek Beyond, and there were a lot of people there in their costumes and stuff like that. It was the next best thing, except no celebrities, but it was fun, and I enjoyed the movie. I really liked it. I thought they did a superb job on this film, and the film is kind of like a mixture of two different kinds of Star Trek universes. You get a feel of the J.J. Abrams in it. The action scenes, the space battles, and everything is very J.J. Abrams-like, and then there are parts where the crew, you see the relationships and friendships and everything together, and how they're problem-solving things and working together and trying to figure things out, and which kind of reminded me of the Star Trek motion pictures of the 1980s with Kirk and Spock. Those movies. It kind of felt like that mixed with J.J. Abrams, and I think that the movie there were times in the movie where it did feel like the old TV show, and I think that was done by design because it's the 50th anniversary, and they want something that makes you feel kind of retro, So I really liked it. I thought it was a good film, but there were some things that and I just want to say, it's sad about what happened to. Yelchin, who plays Anton Yelchin, who plays Chekhov. It was a terrible accident that happened to him, and that's sad. He never, made it to the premiere. Leonard Nimoy died, and wasn't able to be a part of this movie and didn't get to go to the premiere. I just, wish the best for their families. During the tough times, but the movie looks good. I mean, I saw it and it looks really good. I mean, I loved what I saw out of it, the movie, and I think it's going to be probably one of the best Star Trek films. I think it will be up there, and it'll be interesting to see what the fans think of it also. Well, but this is a spoiler review, so there is going to be spoilers over this movie. I rather do a review using spoilers because it's easy to explain the movie better. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't watch. But anyways, the movie starts off where the USS Enterprise is approaching the Yorktown Starbase, and what the Yorktown Starbase is. It's a Federation outpost, and it's a place where all the aliens that are part of the Federation go there. They mingle, talk with one another, learn about each other and their culture, and kind of like Deep Space Nine, kind of the same kind of thing, But this thing is like a city, but it has like a bubble around it to hold in the atmosphere. Really interesting. And so I thought that, this was a pretty good part in the movie. But anyways, when they go far after the starbase, they go into space, and I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but they go into space, and this is when they encounter the swarm, which does destroy the Enterprise. I think we all know that. Everybody knows that now, because if you've seen the trailer, you know that happens. So they get marooned on the planet, and and Kirk, they all eventually all meet up, and then they try to stop Corral. Now Corral's an interesting character. He's the villain in this movie, and he's played by Idris Elba. But originally though, he was a Starfleet captain. He was a Starfleet captain, and for the USS Franklin, which also crashed there like 100 years before this situation, and so that's why it looks so old looking, like the starship from the TV show Enterprise, because it's I think it's about over 100 years old or something like that. I think it was mentioned in the movie that it was from the 2160s. And this timeline, this newer timeline, is in the 2260 something. So by this point, so I'm thinking, so it's an old ship, and it's abandoned. And Corral used to be a Starfleet captain, used to be a Special Forces guy, and all that. And because his ship got stuck there on that planet. And a lot of people don't know what his motive is. People are wondering, well, what's his purpose? What's his motive? What happened was his ship crashed on that planet, and he and his people were hoping that the Federation would come. They never came. They never came to save their people, and because of that, Corral started to have, he started to have angry thoughts about the Federation, started to hate them, and just wanted to destroy them. He could not stand them anymore, because he blamed them for his situation and his crew's situation. And revenge is a very very obvious thing, I think, in these latest Star Trek movies, these three newer ones. In the 2009 movie, Nero wanted revenge on Spock, and Ambassador Spock, because he blamed him for the destruction of, Romulus. And then in Into Darkness, you have Khan, who wants revenge on, on the Federation, and revenge on Admiral Marcus. And then in this movie, you have Corral, who wants revenge against the Federation. So, and Corral was able to stay alive all these years because he had this artifact that could sustain his life, and keep his life prolonged. So the man is like 100 and something years old now, at this point. And so, yeah, the movie's really good, and I don't want to go through everything in the movie, but it's a really good, fun, action-packed, sci-fi, kind of movie, and a good popcorn flick all the way around. And but there were some things that were never mentioned in this movie, like, for instance, Carol Marcus, the daughter of Admiral Marcus from Into Darkness. I understand that Alice Eve couldn't be in this movie because Simon Pegg and Justin Lin tried to get her in there, but they just could not fit her into the story. Plus, I think Alice Eve was also busy doing other movies, other projects. But I think that I was wondering, though, whether or not they were going to mention in the movie, or in the story, that Carol Marcus, maybe she got transferred to another ship. We never heard about that. There was a lady on the bridge of the Enterprise, though, that was wearing a blue uniform with blonde hair, and maybe that was a stand-in for her, just for certain scenes, like you just think that's Carol Marcus on the bridge, but it was never mentioned that's who that actress was really playing. So that's one thing that wasn't mentioned, but it's a good movie. It really is. And I was having problems with my computer. The whole screen just went black. And it's a good movie. I would suggest go seeing it. You know, because it's good. I think it's a really good Star Trek movie. I'm going to go see it again. And I probably here while I'm in San Diego, I'm going to go see it again. And you know, this jacket though, everybody's asking me about this jacket. You know, they asked me did I make it or whatever, and I just said no. I got it on whatever. But I made it on, or I didn't make it, but I bought it on eBay. So everybody asks did I make it and all that, but no. But it's a good movie. But another thing I want to touch on, I don't want to get political about it, but there was stuff in the movie about Sulu, you know, his sexual orientation. I'm not, you know, I'm not hateful or I dislike gays or anything like that. But I just felt that there was really no place for that in the story. You know, it just did not seem like it had anything to go into the story other than, you know, but, you know, he has a daughter in the movie. It shows he has a daughter. But I just really didn't feel like it had any bearing with the story at all, and whether or not it was necessary. But let's just say this. A lot of people, like a lot of homophobic people out there, were concerned that there was going to be a romantic scene between both of them. And there was nothing like that. When the Enterprise gets to the Yorktown, you know, the Enterprise crew gets, you know, starts walking around the station or the base, and then Sulu is reunited with his husband and his daughter, and they put each other's hands around each other's backs like this, and they're walking through the station with their daughter. So it was no big deal. It really was no big deal. But I'm glad they didn't make it into a big deal. But you know, because like I said, there was really no bearing for it in the story at all. So, but it was a good movie, and I think that you'll enjoy it. I think that you know, it's a good Star Trek movie. I really like it, and I can't really say enough about it. And they're already talking about making a number 4. You know, they're already talking about making a number 4 with was it Chris Hemsworth? You know, him being in it, and you know, resuming the role of Kirk's father. But the thing is, though, I hope it's just a flashback scene. If this has anything to do with time travel, I mean, please. I love time travel movies, but how many times have we seen time travel in a Star Trek film? We've seen it so many times. So, you know, so there's really no place for. I mean, it just, I don't know, just too many of those time travel things they put in these movies, and I think, you know, I'd rather it just be a flashback scene. It'd be neat if they could have Bruce Greenwood as Pike in a flashback scene again. I really liked his character in the other 2 movies. But anyways, that's the review. Thumbs up, and everybody take care until the next review. All right, take care, everybody.